Hey guys, welcome to DevOps School. In this video tutorial, we are going to learn about Nagios. Nagios is an open source continuous monitoring tool. It helps to monitor system, network and infrastructure. It is used for continuous monitoring of systems, applications, service and business process in a DevOps culture. After going through this tutorial, I promise you that the concept and understanding of the Nagios will be absolutely clear to you. But before we begin, let me inform you few things about us. DevOps School is one of the leading platforms which offers DevOps, cloud and containers technology training and certification programs for freshers and established professionals who wish to update and consolidate their skills in the dynamic IT scenario. We ensure that the training solutions are delivered by highly experienced domain experts with practical working experience in various verticals. You can join our all training programs globally through online platforms, and if you're looking for classroom workshop, then we have regular batches available in Hyderabad and Bangalore. Check out the dates and enroll with us for our upcoming batches. For more info, link and contact details are mentioned in the description below.
Okay, so today we are going to talk about the Nagios. So first questions would be, what is Nagios? And then why Nagios? Then we are going to talk about the release of Nagios. Then we are going to talk about the architecture of Nagios. And then we'll talk about how Nagios work. And then we'll talk about how can you use Nagios for the monitoring. Okay, so first thing, Nagios. What is Nagios? So Nagios is a infrastructure monitoring tool. When you talk about the infrastructure which includes servers which you have large number of servers. It can be anything like a database server, app server, web servers, login server, cache server, build servers, DevOps servers. So anything it can be. So you want to monitor the servers of their availability, whether it's accessible or not, whether CPU issues, RAM issues, services and all. So you want to monitor the health of the servers. Okay, and then services. So you want to monitor the services. For example, if the server is having any issues or not. At the same time, if there's services inside the servers which is running or not. Okay, so you want to monitor it, you want to get update of it, you want to, based on the update, if it's something to worry about, so you have to fix it. So basically Nagios is your infrastructure monitoring tool which monitor servers and services. Okay, why Nagios? Reason is very simple: monitoring everything. Okay, because as part of the DevOps culture you might have heard about, and if I'm sure you might have gone through the videos, and if you have not gone through the videos, I would request you to go through the videos, which is devopsschool.com/videos. This is the videos which you have to go through that. This is the must watch video. So DevOps says you have to build a culture, working culture. You have to bring automation, you have to monitor, and you have to share. So monitoring is very much important as part of the DevOps. So you have to monitor all the servers, their health, services, and if something goes offline, you have to fix it. Okay, so that is important. Now in terms of release of the Nagios, there's a two kind of release. One is you have Nagios Core, which is command line based tool, and it is free. Okay, it is free to use it. It's an open source also. Free, open source. Okay, now there's another version also we have in Nagios, which is called Nagios XI. Okay, which is GUI based, which is paid and for the enterprise. enterprise. Okay, so these are the two kind of releases what you have in the Nagios. Now let's talk about the Nagios architecture. In terms of Nagios architecture, you have server and you have agent. So basically, server and agent, which is very important in Nagios. How it works, we need to talk about it. So in server, you have alerts, you have a dashboard. These are the components you have, and then agent which runs on the server. The agents which runs on the server. Okay, so how it works? Let's depict one image of it. So MS Paint. So what you have here, this is a Nagios server which is called XI. Okay, now in your infrastructure you have these many servers: 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now these servers you want to monitor it, and there's some services inside these servers also you want to monitor it. So what to do about it? So this is your server, which is called Nagios server. And here what you do in order to monitor this server, here you install agent. Here each of the servers install agents. Okay, now when server Nagios server, let's put Nagios server. Okay, Nagios servers reach out to this machine through agent and ask the health about it. Okay, this is, and then you got the results output back. Okay, this is a 1, this is a 2. So basically agent is the one which runs in the each machine, each server, and send the information to the server. So first thing, in a way in which if that Nagios is hitting to the agent and asking the updates, this is called active monitoring. Active monitoring. Okay, in another case scenario, when agent server will not ask anything, but agent will keep on sending the information at certain interval automatically. This is called passive monitoring. Okay, so here in the servers you have alerts and dashboard. An agent which is nothing but which is installed in each machine, installed in each server which you want to monitor, okay, which runs on the server. And okay, now when server sends two kind of monitoring, two kind of monitoring, we have active monitoring, passive monitoring. Okay, so in a case when you have XI server talk to the agent and then agent send information to XI server, this is called active monitoring. In a case where at certain time agents send that health information to the XI server, this is called passive monitoring. Okay, so this is a kind of monitoring. Here Nagios you have server and agent, But one of the beauty about this Nagios is you can have agent-less monitoring also. Agent-less monitoring can be possible also. How it can be possible? Through protocol. Through protocol. That means scenarios in which you don't have to install the agent, Nagios can monitor through the protocol also. So in Linux, you can use the protocol which is called SNMP. Okay, SNMP protocol, and for the Windows, the protocol is WMI. So you can using these two protocol, you can manage, you can monitor, you can monitor the servers which is agentless also. So that is also possible. Okay. So now what we discussed so far, what is Nagios? Okay. Why Nagios? Releases of Nagios, architecture of Nagios, and the what kind of monitoring you have it. Okay, so now how Nagios works, we have talked about it. Active monitoring and passive monitoring. Okay, now let's work on the demo side. Okay, how can you do the demo? So in order to in order to do the demo, I need to install one Nagios install, download, setup, configure Nagios XI, Nagios Server XI, and second thing, download, setup, configure Nagios agent. Right? Very simple. So we have to do that. So now let's get started. So for that, you know that all the demo I do on the AWS. So let's go into the AWS.
Rajesh, question.
Yeah.
This Nagios can be configured to monitor even CI/CD pipelines, health checks, data flows, those kind of activities as well, apart from just the servers and then
No,
monitoring.
no. Nagios will not be able to do that. It's an infrastructure monitoring tool only.
Okay, all right, got it. Okay, if you say like these master and then agents, do we know actually what the mode of communications like? Is it which port or what is a
Yeah. So
what is a?
I'll tell you. I'll tell you.
All right, okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
So basically, there's a called NSC client. I'll explain you. Let me come back to that. Mumbai. Okay. So now I'm launching one server. So let's get the server first. Red Hat Linux Enterprise 7. One. This is I'm setting up view instance. So this is a XI Nagios XI server. Okay. The IP address says this one. So I'll just keep it here. Nagios XI server. This is the IP address. So let's hit to this. Yes. Bravo, are you not able to see my screen? Now guys, you are able to see my screen?
Yes, I can see the screen.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just become a root. Okay. So first thing, sudo -s cd-opt. I'm just writing it, the instructions, so you can do that later. Now I need to download XI server. So where to get it, download XI servers? You have to go to the Nagios website. You can see that here, Nagios open source. So Nagios Core is open source actually. Okay. Nagios XI is the dashboard solution. So I'm trying the dashboard. So here it says free download. So you can get for the trial version. Let's start. Now where you want to download, look at this. If you're a Windows guy, go for the Windows, Microsoft. You have to, if you want to download some this, what is it, ISO file like a VMs and all, you can get it the here, VM file. If you want to download for the Linux, click on here. Now it's a tarball in the Linux, so you have to click on it, download. Registration, you can skip it if you want it, you can do that also. And here I am getting the installations here, but I'm not installing here, I'm not downloading here. Basically I wanted to get the URL of it. So here I got this URL, you can see that, and I can select. So this is the URL I wanted to get, so I could have get it directly, but you will not come to know if the new version has come. So this is the best way. So now I've got it. Before that, let me install the new server. So yum install.
Rajesh, can you just show in that screen how you got that list of URLs in that Nagios please? Where do you click to reach here?
Yeah, just you have to click on the download button and you started downloading. After that, you go to this download in progress and copy the URL from here.
Okay, we have to click there on that icon.
Yeah.
Chrome. Okay. Got it. Thank you.
So that way I got this URL. Now I go into this and first thing I will run this command wget. Again, one more thing, this you have to look at this. Always you should read about the Nagios, and the documentation is very perfect actually. Nagios XI prerequisite, and see installation prerequisite. You should read CentOS 567, RGL 567. Okay, all this thing is there. Okay, you should read at least one, all this stuff, and a lot of documentation. There's no lack of the documentation, and they have given each and everything step by step. Okay, so you should see that. But the one which I wanted to show you is manual installation. So this is the prerequisite. Somewhere it will be manual installation, you have to find it out. Okay, but the one which I'm doing is manual installation. So now I got this wget. I'm getting the package. It's getting installed. I'm downloaded. Okay, so now I got this package. I will do untar xdf. Now I untar it. Let me note down these commands here. And then inside that, I'll go to this directory. And here, see, you have so many files, but one of the files you have to look out for is a full install. So do you see somewhere? Here it is. So this is the file which you have to trigger in order to do the installation. Okay. So now, done. Now it says this script will complete installation of Nagios XI by executing all the necessary subscript, and it will do that. So do you want to continue? Yes, I want to continue. Also, you should read this. This script should only be used to clean install of the should be used on clean install of CentOS and error. So it's a clean install of CentOS and error. It's not the used one. So I'm installing. Here got the error. Some error is there. You can see that. Check the error log message in the install log. So if you require assistance in resolving the issues, please include data. So there's one file which is here. You can see that. And cannot find certificate of RHENs. So I will do one thing. RHEN, this check the certificate. So first let me do that update. Probably update will fix it. If not, then we'll move on to the CentOS. So cannot, because I don't have a RHEN certificates, which will get it from the RHEL only. First let me do this update. Okay, update is happen. Let me do one thing. Let me note down the error. So if someone also gets the same error, it's easy to fix it. So error says MySQL is not installed, running, configuring, password. Here cannot find RHEN CA file, which is trusted certificate file. So I have to, it says you have to enable this one. But if I do enable this one, I'll get another issue. So let's check it out one more time. Yes, same error. Let me try with this. Please add the optional data. You can add the redundant install the images. Yum. Install Y. Okay, so basically this operating system which you have got now is not good operating system for Nagios. The reason is it is not registered with RHEL. So basically before installing the Nagios, they check whether it's registered or not. That's a problem actually. Okay, so now what I have to do, I have to get rid of this machine and I have to go to the CentOS 7, because if it is a genuine RHN subscription, then it might have gone through. Why it's asking this one? The reason is very simple. Nagios, during the installation, they will go to the yum registered manager and they will seek lots of packages from there, which is not there. So no problem. I'll go for the CentOS. So CentOS, I'll search CentOS. 7. I'm looking for the something. Should I use this one? Let me check CentOS is here or not. It's not here. Should I get RHEL CentOS 7? Okay, let's use this. I don't have any other options than trying it out. So this one. Has so many EBS. I will try this one, but that image I'm not having very confident because this is a community image. Let me search best AWS MI for CentOS 7. Updates. Probably this will not work, then probably I'll try this one. Free tier. This is CentOS. But just let me try. Why to take a risk? Because this is a community AMIs. I have no confidence on that. I have not used it. Let's go for the marketplace. Here, I can use this one. It says probably it's free. Let's use it. It's okay. I can go for this. Medium. Yep, because this is the image which I have from the CentOS itself, so I can trust this image. Else we'll be wasting time, figuring out what is the issues and all kind of things. And if you're using RHEL, then you should be RHN certified. So any organization which get the RHN, RHEL, they bought that, they got the certificates which they install. So this error will not be there in the genuine RHEL servers. Okay. noted out this one. I'll just put it on the server also, this notes. Okay, so my server is ready now. I'll replace this IP address, and now I'm going to log in same way. So new, first, final, open, yes, EC2-user. EC2-user. Okay, so it's rejecting this. The reason it could be this username is changed. So how can I get the username? Username is root. Okay, so I can get this here. So remember, I'll put this observation. You have to find out the user from the connect machine. So if you know AWS, you know that how to get it done. So let's make it IP address again. Username is not EC2 but root. Root. So this is good. Okay, it's exiting automatically. Okay, here is the problem. If you look at this, they say root, but once you log in using root, they'll say CentOS. So the problem here is they have a different images, different behavior, and that's the problem. So now we have to log in as a CentOS, sudo -s. Now from here you can take it. Okay, so now I've got the server. First thing, let me note down here, pre RHEL 567, but RHSN RH RHNS certified, registered one way, or you can use CentOS 567 anything. Okay, so this is the way you can do that. So first thing, let me do the update. It's a base operating system. Quickly now it can be done. Okay, no package marked for the update. Let me do the sudo -s. I just already did, and then install this package. I go to the OPT and then download this package. And then you run this command, and then you run this command. Oops, sorry. And then finally you run this command, which will install it. Okay, so now you see that it's updating. It's getting to the package of Nagios. This is the package. Okay, so now it will install. It will take some time. EPL is also needed. So CentOS is having all this repository configured, but RHL is also having, but only with this. So all this Nagios required a lot of component. You can see the Perl, lib, all these components being installed from the repositories. Total size is this one. Install size is 418 MB. So now again they are downloading some other packages. So installation is in progress.
Rajesh, while this installation is happening, is this Nagios is capable enough to monitor even, for example, auto scaling stack as well? In AWS, for example, I'm spinning the servers on the fly and I still want to monitor all these servers. How do you do that?
Okay, so your question is something like that. Is Nagios will help you to do the auto discovery, okay,
That's correct.
and then monitor. So yes, it can help you, but with something condition. I'll show you. Now goes auto. There's a component which is a paid component again. So discovery. Okay. So you can install this against add-ons which will help you to do the Nagios discovery. So this is the add-ons. So you have to install all this one. Okay, this one. Okay, so it's not coming free, but again the answer is yes, but limited. Okay.
All right. Okay. So does it also part covers is the original Yeah, that's fine. Sure. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Rajesh, Suresh here.
Yeah.
Can you show me how to navigate to the recorded sections?
Yeah. So what you can do here, you can go to the DevOpsSchool.com, click on the videos, and here you have all the videos which you have a part of the DevOps course. So whichever video you are supposed to get the access, you should get, click on this place, all this here, and last step 6. If you click here, these are the sessions you have to study in order to become a DevOps engineer. Now all the videos, links, quizzes, HTML slides, forum, everything is there. It's just you have to update yourself. Now first you have to do, before accessing the videos, first you have to do log into the YouTube using the Gmail ID. the one which you have shared. And after that, you come to these videos, and then you'll have access automatically. Does that answer your question?
Yes, Rajesh, thank you.
Okay, so installation is still going on. It'll take 2-3 minutes more. If you
Raj, is this similar to Splunk? Both the same nowadays? Like I'm hearing Splunk more, Rajesh. Like this same way.
yeah. So question is, what is difference between Nagios and Splunk? Answer is Nagios is server monitoring tool, infrastructure monitoring tool, infra monitoring tool. That means it can monitor servers and services. But Splunk is a log monitoring tool. So it can monitor logs of the application, servers, network, and etc. System, all the stuff. Understood?
Thanks, Rajesh. Thank you. Raj, usually, like when we develop any web-based applications, like we usually use like Log4j tool, and we put some log messages, right? And even like SOPs if it is a Java application, and if we are using WebSphere application server, so we will be getting all the SOPs in the log. So you mean to say that with the Nagios, we will be connecting to the web server like that?
No. For the log monitoring, you have to use the Splunk. But if you want that server, like wherever you install the app server, web server, no, you want to check that whether it's up and running or not, CPU is there or not, disk space is there or not, RAM is there or not, networking is there or not, or if you install some of the services over there, it's running or not, that it can be done using Nagios.
Clear. Yes.
Okay, so now my Nagios servers got installed, you can see that, and here it is accessible. So now you can check it out. So here you can access the Nagios server after all the install. You have to get it here. But this is an internal IP address for the AWS. In order to access this, you have to go for the external IP address. So now this is the one which is external. Here it is. So if you're installing the Nagios, you have to access that URL. Okay, you see that install PHP has come. They're asking, is it the Nagios server? And administrator name Nagios. What is your email address? So let's give it the email address, rajesh@scmgalaxy.com. What is admin? So I should note it down, the admin username here, and password this one. Okay, and which is the time zone? So you can type India, whatever the time zone you are into, 5:30, which is New Delhi. Okay, install. So Nagios installed. This is the username, this is the password, login. So now like Nagios servers is set up. So now let's get started here. So this is the username and this is the password. It was very simple though. Now accept this license. All this you should read it. If you should what's the copyright statement and all stuff like that. And here you have a tour, so you can do the tour first time. If you're doing, then you should always click next, and then you should get used to all stuff like that. Okay, so everything you should be doing it, and then end the tour. Right now you can see this is the dashboard, home dashboard. Some of the getting started guides are here, but as of now anyways you are in training, so you can look this one later. Okay, some of the administration tasks you can configure here. Okay, for example, mails. So first thing what you should do, administration task, new server, what you should do, you should set it up the mail. So administration task 1, you should set up that list mail, so you can, because it's all about monitoring, so monitoring will send an email, so that you should send an email. If you want to reset the security credentials, you can do that. If you want to do the basic configuration settings, also you can do that. So if you click here, you can see that here in the general tab you have a program URL, the same Nagios server URL, username of the administrator, time zone, all this thing, blah blah blah. Security, you have it. This is the PHP based security, they have enabled it. You have to read it more. Password and account, so you can set that, all this thing, enable logged out, unsuccessful login attempt 3 times, unenforced requirements, all these things you can set it up only once. What is the theme you wanted? I'm okay with that theme because I got used to it. User defaults, integration with some other tools and all. So this is the system settings, you should do that first time. Okay, so let me close that. So configure system settings, you should do that. After this administration task is done, you have to go to the ongoing task. Ongoing task, that means monitoring. That's a new task, right? Ongoing task. But here if you look at this, here this is the kind of summary you have it. How many servers you are monitoring right now? 1. How many services you're monitoring right now? 8. Look at this. You wanna see that which server is got added, because I have not added, but Nagios will set it up, the agent in the Nagios server also. So they will be pushing the data. So here you have a servers service. Click on one. See that this is status. It says host, local host. Up and running, duration from last 4 minutes. Attempts 1 by 10. That means first attempt only you got this information. Okay. Now you see that one service is running, everything is green. If you want to click on that, you will get more information about it, like host status up, duration, host stability, last check, when it was checked last time, when it will check next time. So basically this is set every 5 minutes. Look at this. If you can look at this, last check, next check, you can set it up. This is set by default 5 minutes. You can do the quick action also. If you want to disable the notification to the administration, you can do that. But if you want to do the immediate check, click on this, force an immediate check. And now you got this updated. See, 9:34 is now you got this updated. You can ping to the host to see whether it's available or not. Now see this pinging. Close this window. You can also connect to the host using the SSH and all. As of now, I'm not interested in doing this because anyways I'm a SSH. But you can connect the host from here only. You can trace route to the host this also. So this is the trace routing from your my Windows machine to this machine, which is this one. Okay, so these are the functionality you have it in the overview front. Okay, it's self-explanatory, nothing great about it. Okay, you have to just spend time to get used to it. Disable notification, force an immediate check, ping this host, check to localhost trace route. Any questions on this tab? Any guys, are you there?
No, no, no. I seems to.
Yeah, you must notice this one. This is a trial copy of Nagios XI, will expire in 60 days. You have to purchase this one, so it's important. I will put it here. Okay. This is the second one. You have a performance graph. As of now, there's no much of the data has been uh, generated because just I started actually. But over the period of time, you see the performance, how it's performing in last for 24 hours, last 4 hours, last 7 days, last 30 days, last 365 days. So all this thing you can see the performance. It's like, you can see how your server is doing good, and there's a performance matrix which is RTA, RTmax, okay, PL and RTmin. So what exactly the RTA, RTmax, last and RTmin? This is the calculation which is set by the Nagios. That's the best way to go to algorithm on the Nagios website and see that what the calculation they have it. But this is just to find out all the performance issues and all stuff like that. So you can see the current load also. You can see the number of current users also. Localhost HTTP request also, ping issues also. So all these things, these the parameters, you can see that where it's doing, and none of these in red actually. All are green. I mean, all are in a good barometers condition. If you move to the red area, then it's become a problem. Pink is a warning, red is a alert. I mean error. Okay. So remember this one. So very nice dashboard they have it. Okay. If you want to go to the advanced section, again you have so many things apart from that. Look at this here. You can comment, you can schedule the downtime. You can schedule the downtime means is very important features. You don't want to have a false alert. So if you schedule the downtime, there will not be any false alert. So that will be taken care. Okay, passive check results. I told you, submit passive check results, active check results. There's a two kind of do that. So all this thing is also possible. You can configure also this host, reconfigure. So this is already configured, but if you want to reconfigure with the different inputs, you can do that. But anyways, I'm skipping it because anyways I'll do that for the new host. You can delete this host also. There's a capacity planning. You can see here, you can see all this capacity planning, RTA, PL. So all this will give you the metrics to decide whether how this job is performing. These are the free variables. As of now, there is no variable set which can be done. Network analyzer is another tools of XI which is not set. So as of now, we are not getting into that tool anyways. So this is the overview of the one host status. Let's go back to the dashboard again. You have one host running. Each host has a sum. All this thing will remain same. Okay. Now here you have a services. You will look at this 11 services running for my machine, which is this one. Okay. So out of which you see that which are the services running. Current load, current users, HTTP, ping, root partition, service cron d, HTTPD, MySQL, endo, SSH. So all this process is running and they're checking, and all the health is okay. And you can see that with the duration, attempt, last check, status information. So basically Nagios store that in the MySQL DB. Okay, so they have a MySQL DB, HTTPD server, cron d for the scheduling and all. So all this thing is required in order to run the Nagios server. And of course you know that all this thing is there, everything is up and running. So if anything has a problem, your Nagios servers will not respond properly. So I just said Nagios is meant for the servers. This the one server is already, you can see the status or services. This is the one few services here, you can see that there's one critical things which has come here. So here if you see the service status summary, 11 is okay, but one is critical, one is unhandled, one is a problem. So altogether you have a total services, out of which 11 is okay, one is critical, and that critical is unhandled, and that is a problem. So let's check it out. What is this critical? And here you see the swap uses. Okay, so there should be one services which is set to check, but this is critical. So swap critical is says you have a 0% free out of 0%. So there's no swap memory for that, but that rules has been added to do the swap services law, and it is failing. It's okay, no problem. Just to ignore it, because anyways we wanted to see some critical things. Okay, so now this is the way in the home dashboard you can see that all this stuff. Any questions on the host status summary and service status summary and and administrative task and ongoing? No, ongoing I have to talk about it. Any questions on this?
I'm fine with that.
Okay, so now what we have to do, we have to start monitoring the servers. So let's do the monitoring the servers. So far we are here, ongoing task, monitor servers, monitor services. That's all. Okay, service. So it's easy to monitor the servers and services, but what I feel, we should do some automation. Now, what is automation? Uh, yep, it's okay, fine. Let me create this section, otherwise I get confused. Okay, so now we have to monitor the servers first. Let's go into that. Okay, we have to define many things, but we will go one by one. So for the monitoring the servers, what you have to do, you have to go to the widget. So do you see somewhere the widgets? So this UI has changed, I have to find it out. Huh. So here widget is there. Here run a config widget. Okay, and here you run auto discovery and advanced configuration. So these are the three things you can do that. But earlier, if you look at this, the new model, they have moved this one to here, downside. But in the new model, you'll be having somewhere in the configure this top menu. Now the top menu they have converted. Okay, they have not converted. I was making this one bit bigger. Okay, this is the one I was looking for. So here configure configuration wizard. So first thing, configure. I'm just putting it so you should not get lost. Configure, and after that configuration widget. Okay, after that, if you click on this configuration widget, then from here there is a tool, so I will enter this tool. From here you do not have to worry about anything, because you can see that here, if you see that all, this is the all, so you can monitor DHCP server, you can monitor DNS server, you can monitor the domain expiration server, you can monitor email delivery server, you can monitor the sensor, web sensors, you can watch the folders also, you can watch the Exchange server also, you can watch the FTP server also, you can watch the generic network devices also, you can watch the LDAP server also, Linux, Mac, SNMP, Mail, MongoDB, MountPoint, MS SQL, MySQL, Nagios XI, which is already done, Stats, NCP, and so many things. See, so many things. Now you define what is your monitoring requirement. I have no idea. So you have to do that. So right now I will do the few basics check. For example, I will do the Linux server check. I will do the Windows server check. I will check the domains expiration, which I have in my control. I can check the HTTP one. I can check folder watch. All these things I can check. Okay, you have to practice also. So now let's start one by one. How to configure to monitor to the Linux server. In order to do that, what you have to do, you have to go to the Linux category. See here, Linux. You can go here also. This is the list, all the list. But if you are not okay with this list, go to the Linux specific list. And here you have all this list got filtered into the Linux specific list. Here Windows specific list. Here you have other operating system. Here network, database, website, email, Nagios product, folder, and category version, VMware and passive check. So right now Linux check. So here I want to check the Linux server. So now what is the IP address of Linux server? So IP address of the Linux server, and I'm not putting all this thing in notes because it's very almost impossible to put all this thing in the notes, but it's all are self-explanatory. You see that. So what I'll do, I need a Linux box. Let's get it quickly. Quickly I'm getting this Linux box, and this is the advantage of using AWS, because everything you can get it, you know, the way you want it. You don't have to wait for it. So now I got this Linux box. I will name it, this is a Nagios XI server, and this is a server 1 Linux. Okay, this IP address is this one. I copy and then I keep it. Again, if you have any questions, please stop me. Okay, yeah. What is this server? So you have to find out Red Hat Linux. What exactly? So it's a Red Hat server. Next, very simple. Now this is IP address which you want to monitor. Operating system is Red Hat. They automatically found out their host name by pinging it. And now what you have to do, you have to download the agent over there. So where to get the agent? This is the way. So now you have to go to this new session, final ppk, open, yes, and this is ec2-user, sudo -s, I become a root, opt, now yum install. I'm not writing all this command because you know that now. wget -y, okay. Now I need to download, so let's copy the URL and download this. Okay, download has happened. I got this. This is NRP. So let's remind you, for the agent here, the question is how, here in the agent, how to set up an agent in Linux, agent in Linux, and the answer is NRPE. This is one of the product, open source product. You should read it. It's not a Nagios, actually. You should read it about NRPE, and that you get it. Okay, so NRPE is the, should be there. Okay, through if you want to do that, how to set up agent in Linux, it's NS client, NSC client, NSC client. All this is also open source product. Okay, so they're using a lot of good things actually. So here what I do, I will tar -z xvf, this is the file, and I will get inside this here, and now full install. There's on full install here. Now just a second guys, give me 1 second, I'm getting one call here. Now it says this script will install Nagios Linux agent by executing all necessary subscript. So important, this script should only be used to clean install system like this one, Ubuntu also, and then do not use the system running any other desktop and stuff like that. So do you want to continue? Yes, I want to continue. And it's getting loaded. Okay, so installation is almost done. Now configurations will come. This is, I am installing agent. In Linux. Agent is being installed. It will take 2 minutes, I guess. Okay, so installation has been done. Now they are sharing the SSL, setting up the SSL TLS, stuff like that. So it will take a little bit time.
Rajesh, if these agents run in containers on the nodes, multiple containers, so it will show the monitoring of that specific container only, right?
That is the question. Even I have no answer. So I have not run any time in the container Nagios agent. So let me just try it out. Nagios agent in Docker con. That's a good question actually. Yeah, I think that is possible. Yeah, because the same thing they are installing NRP. Okay, so that's possible with a little bit of tricks and all. Okay. Okay. So now you see that here, this is important one. You see that setup, the server has been set up configure agent. Now it says NRP is currently set to allow connection only from this. That means this agent will allow, see what I said here, server ask for this, agent respond to that. So for that, as of now, this agent is only allowed to accept the connection from here. But if you want to add additional servers, you have to type it here. This is here. You can type the IP address of the Nagios server, or if you have a multiple Nagios server, you can type the range also. So that is also possible. But right now, I have only one Nagios server. So there is no point of me typing the CIDR range. So let me copy paste. and type it here. That means now NRP, which is an agent, which will be receiving the connection from this IP address only, it will allow. Now I just did it. Now here it says your firewall configuration script. You need to manually open port 566. Now, if you want to know the what is the port, TCP. So there was some question actually. How do agent and server communicate? So they communicate over the TCP, the port number 5666. Who has this question?
Yeah, it was me actually. Just want to know what port and what mode of communication happens between server and agent, which answers the question. Thank you.
Yeah. So this is the one. Now the thing is, I have already opened all the ports, not this particular port, on my security group of AWS. So you don't have to worry about it. But if you're setting up this in the local infrastructure, you have to be mindful about it. Okay. So now this is done. Okay. And I see this a complete, so there's no problem. Installations okay. Now let me see if it got started. Here PS NREE. It's not there, but no problem. We'll get started. So go to the dashboard first. Okay, first thing what you have to do here, you have to complete this. So now I install the agent, and now you have to have a procedures installation instructions and all here. But I have already done so. But if you want to follow all this stuff, you are free to do that. See here, same thing whichever I did, you have one by one everything finishing up. So here you can give the IP address or range, whatever it is like. Okay. Now let's move on. Now here you have to decide what server metrics you want to capture. You want to ping, you want to check the yum, you want to check the updates. Here see, this is the updates in which this is a warning, this is a error. Okay, for the load of what? Load of total machine load, and this will be checking that load. Now this is a CPU statistics. Here if you feel confused, here you can put in the icon, you'll get this stuff. Here CPU statistics, if it is 80%, warning, 95%, critical. I will make it little bit less, 40, 45, because memory uses, I'll make it 40, 50. Swap uses, open files, number of users. If it is more than logged in users, you display number of total process. If it is that, you want to do the disk monitoring also. So if it is the root more than 20% utilized, warning. I mean less than 20% is there, warning. Less than 10% is there, critical. Now which services you want to monitor in this particular? So SSD, cron D. Now let's HTTPD also. I don't have a server over there, but I'm clicking it. Okay, and then so which services, which process you want to monitor? So send mail process, any other process you want to monitor, just type it and click next. Okay, this is a very important widget. You have to tell monitor the host service every 5 minutes. That means here XI server will ping every 5 minutes to get the status. So this is let it be default, and here is like this. When the potential problem is first detected, so you should recheck every 1 minutes up to the 5 times before generating alert, because this should not be false alert. So if sometime what happens, like it's a false alert, then it's a problem for the team. They need to get up from the bed and then to start supporting. So if it is like there is an error, they will again check for every 1 minute up to the 5 times, and then it will generate error. So this is, you can set it up yourself also. And then next, this is the fourth one. Here, where do you want to send it? So send notification systems. So send a notification immediately, or wait for 15 minutes before sending a notification so it will get corrected, or don't send a notification. What do you want? I select the send a notification anyways. It will not be, it's not configured with SMTP, so it will not do anything actually. But here, what do you want? If the problem is existing, send notification every 16 minutes. As of now, you don't want to make it, you can disable it. Now, the question is, whom it should send notification to? Whom it should send notification to? So that means now you have to come back to the server and set up just a second. This one. Set up notification setup. Here you have to set the notification to whom you want to set it. So there is a Nagios contacts, Nagios contact group. In the Nagios contact, there is one contact, and Nagios contact group. You have a multiple contacts. The question is, how do you create it? So you can create it. I am going to create this one, okay? But here I cannot use it because already it's done. But here you have to create a contact or group, and then next. Here you have to put the host group. What is this host group? Let's understand. And service group. So here what you do in the host group and service group, for example, you want to monitor your Jenkins server, okay? Then you put it one group, okay? That is it's good. Okay, if you want to monitor chef's agent, and you put it in one group, it's like a grouping, logical grouping of your servers. So that way it's easy to monitor and see all the list of machine by clicking at the group. As of now, you have only one group default, which is called Linux server group. Okay, you can create more group. I will create a more group also, but here right now I'm selecting. Service group is nothing but like a whatever the services you monitor. So HTTP service group you can create, FTP service group you can create. Like that you can create a host group and service group and assign that to host group and service group. That way it's easy to monitor that service and click and get to know what is happening on the all of my HTTP servers or Linux server, Windows server or Nagios server or Ceph server. So that way it's easy to navigate, basically easy to manage. Okay, so you can do that. Parent host, let it be, and click next. Here everything is done. Remember, I've installed the agent, I've configured, I've started everything. Apply. Okay, this is the one thing. Now it says your configuration changes has been successfully applied. Monitoring engine was restarted. Okay, so where to get it? You want to run it again, success wizard for adding the new machine, you can do that, okay, or stuff like that. But here I want to see the status of this machine. So here this is the way you can see. Right click, new open, and see that status. As of now, it's because it's a fresh run, it will take some time to run it. Disk uses it shows everything's good, but it will check all this stuff. Okay, so how to see that all the stuff? Go to the dashboard. Now earlier you had a one machine, now you got two machines. Now both are running. So this is the way you can add the Linux server. Very simple, nothing complicated. Host it up and is able to ping that. Any questions on this? Any questions on this?
No, I think we're good.
Okay, so now we have shown you this Linux server using NRP. So the instructions which you can, I close that. Okay, but you get the instructions over there. So this is done. Now let me add a Windows client. Okay, Windows client. So Let me do that. How can I monitor the Windows server? So now Windows server, before that I said I will have to set up this one, right? Nagios contact. Let's create a contact group. So what to do? You have to go to there's an option which is called core configuration option. So here core, this is the one, okay, core configuration. But you can click it by here also. These are a lot of shortcut. You can do that, but I will follow the process. So that way you know that here. So now first thing I have to create the Nagios contact. So as in contact, see that in the alerting you have a contact and contact groups. So first thing I have to create a contact, add new contact name Rajesh, Kumar, description not needed, email address you can give it rajesh@scmgalaxy.com. Pager you can page you also, okay, home address. And before that I forgot to add in the contacts group manage. I don't have it, so first I will create uh, uh, so let me first create, actually that's better. So my contact group, add new, and this time this group name I'll make it Nagios monitoring team. Monitoring team. Okay, save it. Save it. So I've created one monitoring team, so I'm part of it. Now I'll create a contacts. Rajesh Kumar, email address here, everything. Now add it to this, close. So now save it. Simple. So now I've got this here also, monitoring team. Here it says changes detected. Apply configuration for the new changes to effect. For the applying configuration you have to click here, okay. So it's not like whatever you see here it will get affected. You have to apply configuration, okay, done. So it will get impacted everywhere. It says error occurred during the attempting to apply a configuration on Nagios Core monitoring. Okay, so this changes has not been taken. So let me try one more time. Why this error is coming? Okay, this is a good thing. Here it says contact Rajesh Kumar has no service notification command defined. Contact Rajesh Kumar has no host notification command defined. So that's a good information. So you have to do that. Alert setting, you have to command defined. So and command you have to set it up here. So now let me try here. Okay, so now I have just got it. Was restarted, everything is good. So I created a contact groups, everything is done. Do you have any questions on this?
No.
Now next is I am going to create a logical group of my servers. So see, there was few logical groups already there, but I'm going to create my own groups and service group. The question is where to create it. So again I will go to the configuration, core configuration manager. I'll get the hell lot of options, but here look at this here, monitoring. Here you have a service group, host group. So let's create a first host group. Earlier you have a Linux server which was active. In Windows server it was not it is here but it's not active. That's the reason it was not showing you. But I'm going to create my own. Okay, so I'm going to create first my own. So Windows Rajesh, that way I know that what I'm doing. And here I created. So here apply configuration, done. So I've created the host group Windows Rajesh, I'll create a service group also. Add new Rajesh service all. This is the just a logical. You can keep it your name based on the logical, you know, categorization. I'm just putting Rajesh is not a good practice, but I'm just telling you this is my group actually. Service group. Yeah. So I've created a group, and then you know that nothing great. So I created now configuration contact, Nagios Nagios contact group, host groups, service groups. Everything is done. Now I'm going to add and monitor Windows machine. So let's get started. Okay. Now for that, again, configuration widgets. All this rest of the options, you see that it's like same from the configuration widget actually. It's just for the easy doing it. But I'm not following this one because I want you to hit at only one place for everything. So these are the two places. Okay. So that way you should know what exactly. So Windows, now what you want to monitor? Windows Server, Windows Desktop. So here you see that the version 2000, 2003, 2008, 2012, 2016. This is a little bit older. So first, before selecting whether I should go for this or whether I should go for this, I should go for that AWS and see which machine I can create it. So Windows, see here, we have a Windows 2016 server. Let's go for this. 2 GB RAM. Okay, now Windows is running. It will take 4 minutes to get boot up. Okay, so this is a server to Windows. Okay, now what I do, this is 2016, so now I know everything. So let me close remaining here. So I will use this one. Now what is IP address? Same thing you have to follow with this also. This is IP address, and I have to wait for that because this will take 3 to 4 minutes to boot it, and basically Nagios will try to ping it, and ping is not successful, then it will then but ping has successfully now. So you got the host name here. Now you have to install agent. Okay, so an agent password I'll teach you. Let me get this servers up and running. So simple way to check, connect and get the password. See, if this is message is coming, that means your server is not ready. You have to wait for 4 minutes to get it. Okay, so guys, what we'll do, we'll have a 15 minutes of break because I feel like I should get the tea or coffee to talk more. So can we have a 15 minutes of break and continue after the break?
Yeah, sure,
Okay,
you can do
Raj.
that.
Yeah. So let's grab
Sure,
a
Rajesh.
coffee and tea and then we'll continue. Okay. I'll pause the recordings. So my servers should be up now. Let's connect. Windows Server. Here, get a password. Choose a file. So this is the password of Windows. So first thing I have to log into this machine. So let me log in. So mstsc remote desktop login. Username is this one. Password is this one. Yes. Okay. So now you see that I'm able to log into this machine. Now what you have to do, you have to install the agent. So either if machine is 32-bit or 64-bit. Of course 64-bit. Let me tell you, note additional agent version are available from data. So basically this NSC client is like a independent module product which Nagios is using for the tracking over the TCP. Okay, so you can download the best one supported from here only. So let's go to the browser. Click on the URL, download. I'm downloading this MSI file. Download completed. No, it's still in progress. Download completed. Run. Next, generic or OP5. So of course you'll go for the OP generic NS client. Typical, complete, whatever you like it. Back to typical. Now allowed host. So this is important. You have to allow the host. You have to give your IP address. So what is IP address? Separated by comma. So now IP address of your Nagios server is this one. So you have to give it. Same thing you did in the Linux also. And this is the password which you have to copy here. Remember, window. Now you do whatever you want to do. Enable client server, this, that, and all. Next, install. So NS client is again different product which is being used by the Nagios. Okay, installation done. Now what you want to monitor in this windows? You want to monitor MySQL server, You can select all this stuff. You can Explorer, you can see the Explorer, any services, you want to check the usage and all the stuff. You can select next. All this thing you know that. Here also I have said, but here this time I will select the my notification Rajesh Kumar and contact group will be this one. This is where I created. Next, here again LAN Windows and this is the group which I created, and next and apply. That's all. So now you saw that this is the way you have to do the LAN in Windows monitoring. Now you go here and this is the status will be shown. It's in pending stage because it will take some time to gather. Okay, and now go to the home. You got the all together 3 machines out of which one is down. It's not down, it will take some time to get it up and running. Okay, it's not down. Okay, it says critical lost 100%. So I'm just checking. Tram. So why is showing it the down? I'll wait for few minutes because Sometimes what happens is the Windows is always slow. Okay, and then we'll see. You can also I can see NSC client is running, no problem. So it will take some time. RTA man. I'm reconfiguring this host and checking that everything has happened properly or not. Everything has happened. Let me ping first. Okay, so ping. Okay, so ping is not happening. I'm wondering, did I give in the wrong IP address? Ah, what is happening? Let's give this name.
Should we configure any firewall settings on the Windows machines or anything like that to be modified?
Okay, so it's not pingable, so I have to disable the firewall, or firewall is not here actually, because security groups is the firewall of this. But let me check. Firewall. Everything is okay, but I'm not able to ping it. That's a problem. And that's the same issues what this guy has it. So I do not see any issues here. Okay, slowly it's coming. Okay, you see that here. So okay, ping is not enabled on this machine, but if you look at this, CPU usage is okay, disk is okay, Explorer is okay, IS server is not there, so it's unknown. Logon errors, nothing. Ping is critical. Ping is disabled due to these issues. So how to enable ping? That's a question. So let me do that. Windows, AWS, Windows, ping is not working. So it says ping is disabled. every network hop between you and start service and something. You can check the ping in. So I'm just checking ping google.com. It's pinging. Firewall is. Let me check the firewall. I have enabled everything. Instance has to be, I think this is the issue. So this instance is not ready to enable it. So Windows enable ping. Open it, advanced settings, such da. Okay, so here what I have to do, Windows firewall and open it. Firewall, Windows firewall. So this is a problem with this image actually. It's not a problem with the system. Firewall. So here the ping is blocked. So what were the services for the ping in Windows? The ICMP. This is the one. Services. I'll do one thing. That's a simple way for time being. I will disable the firewall. Okay, done. This is the simplest way. This is not the recommended way, but there's another way. You have to go inbound, look for the ICPMP. Where is that? So many things are here, and allow that. So that is, I'm not. Here. See here. ICPMP4. We have to look for that. So you have to play with this many options only. Okay, but right now in a simple way, what I did, I just disable the firewall itself. So now ping this host. Now ping is happening. Force immediate check. Okay, it's already up, so I don't have to do the check. So now you see that how this Nagios will help you to monitor the Windows and Linux. Any questions so far? Any questions so far?
No, we're good. Just one question. I don't know. Maybe this is not relevant at this point of time. This is like any other enterprise tool of monitoring the solution of infrastructure. How is that makes the difference in terms of the DevOps world? Like, we got a DevOps, all the CI/CD pipelines, everything as part of the process. But is it something like Nagios is pre-configured? Anything which is attributes towards the DevOps concept itself?
So see, monitoring is very important in DevOps. And in the DevOps culture, and nowadays in the cloud environment and in the kind of complex environment, you are using so many servers. And again, monitoring is very broad area. Okay, monitoring is very broad area. So let me talk about that here. Here you have a servers monitoring. When you talk about the servers, then most of the time you think about the CPU, RAM, disk, network, and services. So this is the one of the way of the monitoring of the servers, which you call it infrastructure monitoring. Okay, DNS servers and all the stuff like that. So for that we have a tools like a Nagios and New Relic infrastructure infra. Okay. Now again here another kind of monitoring which you have a log monitoring. For the log monitoring, what you do, monitor the application log, service log, process log, system log, network log. All this thing is being monitored and create a logical data out of this log, and then display in the dashboard saying that you have a security issues or you have some open issues, port open issues, or maybe you have someone is hacking your system, maybe something is going bad, or some insertion deletions which is happening which is not reasonable, or some doubtful stuff. So you have a logs, and log monitoring you can do through Splunk or ELBK. ELBK. This is the tool. E stand for elastic, L for logstats, B for beats, K for Kibana. Splunk is the paid one, ELBK is the free one. Nagios XI, Nagios Core is free one, Nagios XI is a paid one, and New Relic Entra is also paid one. Again, nowadays many see actually this even I sometime I get confused. So many tools is getting loaded actually. From last 3-4 years, so many tools has come. One of the tools which is becoming very popular is a Datadog also. So you have to look at that also. Then here another monitoring which you have to do is app performance monitoring. So app performance monitoring. App performance monitoring is also very important, because that way you make sure that the performance you're monitoring is not compromised, and whatever the end user is using application, they're not getting bad issues with that. So for that we have a tool which is called New Relic. Okay, so like that we have many other tools also. So now DevOps monitoring is very important, and you monitor because of the better infrastructure management, user experiences, security issues. Make sure there should not be any downside. That means that in the DevOps everything should be up and running 24/7. So there should not be any downtime. So to avoid the downtime, you have to monitor. Okay. So is a large domain. You have to deep dive into that. One of the area which today I'm talking about service monitoring. So, is that answer your question, or your question was something else?
No, pretty much actually this one, but yeah, the only interesting are the correlations of the DevOps world in terms of monitoring one, which is absolutely fine. This is understandable from organization perspective, but makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's move on. So now I have done the Linux monitoring, Windows monitoring. Let's quickly add some more actually. So what I'm going to do. So let me try something like a folder watch. You want to monitor some folder watch. Let's say monitor directories or files with the Pulse driven records that can query count size of thing. So let's see this folder watch. In this folder watch, what I'm going to do, there's one server which I'm having is Linux server. Okay, this is the Linux server, and here I'm going to give the IP address of it, and sorry, folder to watch. So in the folder I'm going to, this is the folder where I'm watching opt cd opt and mkdir folder hyphen watch. Okay, this is the directory I'm watching. So here it is, and here I have to do which one. If it is a Windows, then you can't do SSH. And what is a username? So username of this machine is ec2-user. Okay, if I do ec2-user, there's a problem because this is owned by the root. So let me do one thing. Let me make it something here. mkdir folder watch folder hyphen watch cd folder watch. So this is the directory which is owned by EC2 user. So that way it's very easy to do that. Now I will change this. Username is EC2 hyphen user. Now next. Okay. Now this is the server which you want to watch. What you want includes directory, subdirectory, query both, files directory, and what is the regular expression. So what exactly you want to do? So let's say you want to create a warning the moment the file size is let's say what is it we want to, let's say file count is greater than 5, then it become warning, and if it is greater than 7, then it become a critical. Again, file age, file size also you can put it. So file size, what you can put it is 5 MB file, 10 MB file. The file size is 10 MB, then you have to create a problem. So now this is the way you have to regular expression, you have to pattern. So if you know the regular expression, this you can do better. Okay, and again all this thing, whatever. So I'll just directly do the finish because you know that what will be happening after that. So now it's configuration successfully. Now let's look at this folder watch. So now folder watch, look at this here. Right now this is in pending state, these two, file count and size. Look at this bottom section of the page. Now it will take few seconds to get it up and running. Now what I'll do, I will run it forcefully. Okay. Force. Okay, now go back and say unknown, file count unknown as of now. So it says, okay, so there's an error. So if you see that here, it's error execution of SSH data ls, this is the one resulted in 6.5. So I know this is the error with the access. Actually they could not get the access because of the keys. My server is based on the keys, this is not based on the password or something. So here what is happening, just you need to understand, server is trying to SSH, it cannot do SSH until there is a keys involved in it. So that's the problem. But you can do the what, you can set the keys in the this machine server. This is your server. You can do you know the authorized key, public key setup and all, everyone?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, so you can set it up the keys, and from here SSH will be automatically happen and get the results done. So that's a way you can also do that. So let's move on. Let's configure something else. So now what else? So you can do the SNP. Remember, it's a serverless. If you don't, sorry, agentless. If you don't want to do install the agent, SNP is the best one. For the Windows, WMI, which is here, it's a serverless. Okay. Again, if you want to set up this instruction, you will get the instructions on the Nagios itself for the each and everything. The more you move on, you'll get it. Folder watch I did try. You can also monitor the expiration of the module. I mean domain. For example, my domain is Rajesh Kumar .xyz. Next, and warning if it is. I have to check actually. Just a second. Domain expiry date. So I have to my domain is Rajesh Kumar .xyz. Search, and now see that this domain will be expired on, see here 2018 September. Okay, so this will be expired. So I'm going to set up a rule which is here, and here if it is September, so I have like if it is 1,000 days, then give it warning. If it is 800 days, give it critical. In the both the scenarios, it will be critical actually, because mine is only 6 months to go, right? You see that 6 months to go, 5 months ago. So in both the scenario, it will give the warning. So that's what I want actually. So now domain expiration is running. Now check the domain status here, and as of now pending. Let's click on it. Let's force an immediate. See, unchangeable stable. As of now, it's not. It will take few seconds. As of now, it's not run, so that's the reason it says up. Host is up anyways. It will take few seconds. Let it come automatically. It will come after a few seconds. Okay, so this is the way you can set it up, the domain expiration. Okay, what else? So you can set Extend server. If you have Extend server, you can see it can SQL the database operations also. You can event log also in the system. Event logs also you can monitor. Here, network related services you can monitor. LDAP servers, which is important, you can monitor. You can monitor the database, all the database here. Website DNS query. So let's do the DNS query. So monitor a host or domain lookup. So let's also do this one. This is easy. So FQDN. What is FQDN? So FQDN is Rajesh Kumar .xyz. Okay. This is FQDN. Now this is hosted at this IP address. This is correct. You want to verify. Ping Rajesh Kumar .xyz. And you see that this same IP address is returning instead. Now DNS server is optional. Now I'm monitoring if the server is not accessible. This server is not accessible on this IP address, then it will show some error. So now I just set it up. Okay, now everything will be okay because status will be green because it's there. You see this pending state is not run first time. It will have to wait for that. But wait for that. So here you have a IP match, resolution, expiration. Three things has come together. I'm wondering why it's not running. It will take few seconds. Okay, see here. It will run at this time. Here it will run at this time. So let's wait for it. See, DNS run is okay. You can see that it's okay. Now this two is pending. The expiration takes a little bit time to analyze it. Okay. So like that you can monitor other things also. I'll wait for it. Okay. So here if you go to the administrative tool, you can set it up the system. Main thing is your mail setup, so which will set it up. So if you have SMTP, you should set it up here. This is the system email. Which ways you want to send email, send email or PHP, SMTP. So whichever way. Okay. So all this thing. So far using this server, using this tool, you can monitor all of your services. Any questions so far?
Nah, that's good.
Rajesh, is there any way to see a consolidated dashboard for all the agents and the services running?
What was that?
One consolidated dashboard together for all the agents and what are the
So if you go down, there's a one just a second, home. There is one chart. Actually this chart is not installed here, so you can install the chart actually. There's so many things you can see here. So you can convert into the reports also. So these things you can create your own graphs and reports and all this thing, alerts and all stuff like that.
Okay.
Okay, here you see the consolidated one. So different kind of reports are there. If you click on the reports, see these are the kind of reports you have it. Okay, available executive summary, SLA report, state history, top level, hell lot of reports is there, and all are configurable. You just have to click and then see that. So this is executive summary. Like someone from the top management, they will see, okay, this is the stuff which is happening, which is green, which is good, which is not good, which is red, warning, unknown, all this stuff. So one of the thing was Rajesh Kumar.xyz. So let's check it out what has happened to that. So for that here, and see Rajesh Kumar.xyz has displayed the results. If you look at this here, see domain expiration critical. I set the condition in a certain way, it has to be critical, right? So if you see that, but apart from that, other checks is like a green. So you can see the graphs here. You can add the advanced tab here. You can see the active check, passive checks, configure again if you want it. So all these things you can see it here and get to that. Okay, understood? So yeah, configuration is very important. Navigation, reports where you can see all the reports. It's a matter of click. Administrator is a one-time activity where you have to set all this thing like a service groups, contact groups, SMTP, all this information, and home. So this is the kind of things which you have to do, keep doing. You have to monitor the host services, manage the groups, manage the host, and everything. You have to keep on doing it and manage your infrastructure through these tools. Any other questions which you have for this?
That's like, what if the master is down? Like, for example, we installed Nagios server on host A, and if your host A is down, how is it possible to back up the Nagios?
Yes, that is possible very much. So what you can do, you should create a backup. It's like this high availability. So you should not be dependent on one server, Nagios server. So you should always take a backup, which schedule backup you can take. You can see that my arrow system backup, schedule backup, local backup archive. So you should take the backup all the time of your Nagios. And the moment if it is down, you should be taking that backup and restoring it, and then immediately making it up another one. So that should be done. Okay.
Arash, one more small doubt. Is it possible to see the history of a previous data? I assume, like, 10 days back or 20 days back. Is it possible to see the past history?
So what you have to do, you have to go to host detail. Let's say this is host detail. There was histogram, which is not as of now here. So you'll have to install the plugins for that. So as of now, you can see this one history also like this, but this is not good right now because you don't have. So graph of time frame, you can see the historical data using this, but there's a histogram tab will come once you install the additional plugins. So you can go through that or not.
Just adding upon that question, can we have anything called a baseline of the existing environment, say production environment? We are running at this particular given time, we are doing, this is a load. Can we do baseline? And then if anything goes more than a baseline, then can we trigger something, monitoring or something like that in the Nagios?
No, that is not there. So that is there in the Splunk and New Relic. It's not there in Nagios. I have not come across at least for that.
All right. Okay. Then yeah, no worries.
Any other questions, guys? Okay, so with this, I'm going to wrap it up this session. So you're going to try it out. I'm going to post this notes to everyone. The more you try, the more you learn. This is the one thing. So nothing great about this tool. Just you have to add it, and each of these additions will have a one instruction. So you might have seen it. For example, if you want to add it, Windows servers, give some IP address 4.4.4.4. You will be having instruction for each this one. Okay, so you have to follow this instruction and get it done, and it's a simple one, and then get it. Okay, with this I'm going to wrap it up this sessions. Tomorrow we're going to meet up. Tomorrow what sessions we have.
Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed and learned from this video. Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest. Want to study further? Subscribe to our paid membership to get a deep dive into each and every topic. Do look out for more videos in our playlist and subscribe to our DevOps School channel and hit the bell icon to learn more. Keep learning.